Anjali's standard algorithm long division video. Parts of a division problem. I'm going to first show you what goes here. What goes there is the dividend. The dividend is the number you divide from. Now I'm going to tell you what goes over here. What goes over here is the divisor. The divisor is the number you divide by. Next, I'm going to tell you what's up here. What goes there is the quotient. The quotient is just a fancy way of saying the answer to a division problem. Steps for standard algorithm long division. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers is an acronym. I'm going to tell you what it means. The D in does stands for divide. The M in McDonald's stands for multiply. The S stands for subtract. C is check. And B is bring down. Now I'm going to show you how to apply does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers to an actual problem. Examples. Let's start off with an easy problem. But first take a look at my paper. It's grid paper. Grid paper helps me keep organized. It might help you too. Being organized is important when you're doing math. You might mix up your places just because you're being messy. And you'll get your entire answer wrong just because of that. Now let's start with our math. 22 divided by 3. If it helps you, write does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers at the side of your paper or anywhere on your paper. You can do it if it helps you remember the steps. We start by dividing the number over here by the divisor. So we have to divide 2 by 3. You can't do that. So we have to divide 22 by 3. That can work. But there's a small problem. 22 is not a multiple of 3. So we have to find something that's close to 22 without going over. We know that 7 times 3 equals 21. That's close to 22, and it doesn't go over. So we can put a 7 up here. We just completed the first step of does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Divide. Now we have to multiply. Multiplying is the second step. If you want, put a multiplication symbol right here. Now we can write 3 times 7 is 21. Now we can move on to the third step, subtract. Now we have to subtract 21 from 22. The answer is 1. 3 can't go into 1 at all. So 1 is our remainder. We write the remainder like this. Let's move on to a little bit of a harder problem. Let's start with our first step again. We have to see how many times 4 goes into 7. It goes in 1 time without going over. Now we have to multiply. Multiply 4 by 1. 4 times 1 equals 4. Anything times 1 equals the same number that isn't 1. Now we subtract. We have to subtract 4 from 7. The answer is 3. The next step is check, and what we have here is less than our divisor. But there's still one step left, and that's bring down. We have to bring down 2. Now we see that for sure this is way bigger than our divisor. So we have to keep repeating the process until we can't divide the number here by 4 in this case. So, how many times does 4 go into 32? It goes into 32 8 times exactly. 4 times 8 equals 32. That's our multiplying step. So we write 32 here. And now we subtract our remainder 0. If your remainder is 0, you don't have to write it up top by your quotient. Let's do one last one. Step, divide. How many times does 2 go into 2? The answer is 1. Now we have to go to the next step, multiply. We have to multiply 2 times 1. 2 times 1 equals 2. Now the third step, subtract. 2 minus 2 equals 0. You can write the 0 if you want. It might help you keep organized. If you don't want to, you don't have to. The 0 there is optional. Now we bring down the 3. Now let's repeat the process. How many times does 2 go into 3? The answer is 1. Now our second step, which is multiply, we have to multiply 2 by 1. The answer to 2 times 1 is 2. Now we subtract. The answer here is 1. Now we bring down the 2 from all the way up there to here. Repeat the process one more time. 2 goes into 12 6 times. 2 times 6 equals 12. And now subtract. The answer here is 0. We have no remainder. And we also know this is correct because the remainder, which is 0, is less than our divisor. The answer is 116. Our remainder is 0. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed it making it for you.